Hey guys, it's Arit here. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips for how to be more creative. You know, creativity isn't something that you're born with. It's a skill that you can learn if you just keep putting it into action and into practice. It's becoming more imperative now than ever to put creativity into your work and to be creative and to stand out amongst the others. So this video will help you with tips on how to be more creative, and you can apply this for your writing, for your music, for your business, for marketing, anything that you think fits. So here we go. Tip number 1. Don't be afraid to seek out inspiration and find ideas to get you more into a creative mindset. You can borrow ideas from other people's work. Just to give you an example, I was designing a media kit for a client, and I was looking through other people's media kits just to see the design aspect of it. And I found what really spoke to me was this minimalist design with not too much happening, and I found certain fonts that I really liked and I thought would bring out the best in that client's brand. And I took those elements and implemented them into the media kit. So don't think that you're copying. You are actually taking that inspiration and making it your own. You're using it to create something new that comes from yourself. So don't be afraid to do that. Even if you want to create a vision board, a creativity board for yourself, where you are pulling out different images, different colors, different writing experts, or whatever it may be that really speak to you, create a board for yourself and put this in your space. Tip number 2. Design a creative space for yourself where you can really get into that safe place of coming up with whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe it's your studio that you feel more creative in, or maybe it's outside in nature. And make a point to schedule times for creative thinking. So, and this might sound a little bit weird, but for myself, when I just create a time for myself to just sit down by myself and just write and really start to jog those brainstorming ideas and come up with new ways of doing things, this is really helpful for me, especially if I'm in a space with big open windows and sunlight, and you know, it's a beautiful environment to be in. If you are comfortable and if you feel good in this space, this is what you want. You want to be in a safe, comfortable space for you to create. And you might also need certain tools with you, right? If you're a writer, make sure you have those pens and the paper easily available in your space. Or maybe it's your guitar with your couch, or you know, maybe it's your paintbrush. Anything that you need to be creative, any tools like this, make sure it's readily available in your space, because this will help you get into the habit of creating. Tip number 3, embrace your constraints. Creativity flourishes, especially when we step outside of our comfort zones and we learn something new. You know, Dr. Seuss was encouraged by his publisher to create a book with using only 50 words, and what came out of that was green eggs and ham. That constraint of 50 words forced him to be creative, forced him to think outside the box and to expand beyond his limitations. And what came out of that was a masterpiece. So recognize what limitations you have, and instead of saying, I can't, ask yourself, how can I? Tip number 4, try something new. Typically when we dip into other creative outlets or take a new class on something or read a book, it inspires something new and allows us to use different skills in different parts of our brains. Take Massimo, the chef, for example. He really wanted to create an Italian restaurant, or open an Italian restaurant that was really different from the others, and he wanted to stand out. And his wife suggested that he go to some art galleries that were happening in his area. And at first he was like, I'm a chef, I deal with food, why do I need to go to art galleries? And she says, I really think it will help inspire you. So he went to this art gallery, and he was looking around at the different masterpieces, and he really noticed he noticed something strange. He looked up and he saw these pigeons on a wire, and he thought they were real for a second, but when he got closer, he saw that it was an art piece in itself. In fact, some of the bird poo was lying on different art pieces in the gallery. And he just thought this was genius. The fact that something so typical of every day, something we see every day and experience every day, can be a masterpiece, can be an art piece in itself, really inspired him. And he took that ideology and put it into his food. And so now, if you know Massimo's dishes, he creates art out of his dishes. His food is like art. If you're just staring at the plate, it's like you're walking into an art gallery. So force yourself to engage in new experiences, to try out new things, because this will help inspire you and become more creative in the area that you seek. And tip number 5, which I think is really the most important, and it ties in everything that we've already talked about, is to really trust yourself in the creation process. Because naturally, creating something new is gonna feel uncomfortable. It's gonna feel strange and weird and maybe not good at first. And sometimes when we first get that feeling, when we are trying to create, it discourages us, right? We stop creating because of that. So it's really important to trust yourself and to know that you are on a creating path. Sometimes we think we're not creating when we're brainstorming ideas or when we're writing, but we really are. We're all creators, right? And so the key to creating is to really bring out your most authentic self and to trust yourself in that process. So guys, those are my 5 tips for how to be more creative. If you have your own tips for us, please leave them down in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you, and everyone else would love to hear those too. And if you really enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because there's more great stuff coming right at you. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Back from the dead.